DJ Immortal, live in the mix.
Alright, Outlaw Radio Live fans, we are live on the air with none other than Chuck Platinum. How you doing this evening?
Yo, I'm blessed, brother. Glad to be here with y'all, man. Outlaw Radio Live was good.
Doing pretty good, man. So I have to ask you, man, from the start, man, what made you decide to get into music?
Oh, well, from the start, man, it started off with my pops, man. You know, my father's a DJ, well-renowned DJ in New York City, and I was really born into this, man. I was a child prodigy, and you know, just kept going with the passion from seeing my dad DJing, and started off as a DJing and rapping and producing, and the ball just started rolling from there, you know what I mean?
And also, man, speaking of your dad, man, in 1991, you along with Pete Holla formed a group, Uptown Nation. Can you tell us a bit more about that story and behind the formation? How did you and Pete Holla get connected?
Oh yeah, we got connected in 1989. We actually liked the same girl, you know what I mean? And the situation didn't work out with the girl, but instead of us fighting, we became brothers, you know what I'm saying? Immediately we clicked. And, you know, we just started, he was actually dancing for his uncle. He was a backup dancer, and he started dabbling in the rap, and I was doing a little freestyling, but I was really focused on DJing, and I just caught the bug and was like, yo, bro, you got to teach me how to rap, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, you know, you do it like this. And then in 92, we just decided to form a group. His uncle, you know what I'm saying, shout out to my mentor, Rick Supreme. We started the group Uptown Nation, man, and we just, you know, started honing our skills. And that summer we started doing shows, and, you know, we just kept going from there. We was like a teenage prodigy going against, you know, young kids like the Youngsters, and Chris Cross at the time, you know, we considered them rivals at the time. And we just at that time wanted to prove ourselves, man, wanted to be one of the best out there.
And when you actually said that, you know, like, you guys like the same girl, man, that's how a lot of friendships break up and whatnot, man, is normally over a girl. But the fact that you guys, you know, kept it cool and you guys formed a group, that's actually really amazing, man, that, you know what I mean, you guys actually was able to look past the whole girl dilemma.
Facts. And that's usually what it is, man, especially in my hood. You know, it's all about, listen, you know, we gonna scrap it out, but, you know, actually it worked out where, we just both realized that our friendship was worth more than that girl at that time. So, you know, we just became brothers, and the rest is history.
And also, when you mentioned your dad was a renowned DJ, in 1992, you, along with your father, DJ Butch SOS, started your first business called Partners Entertainment. Can you tell us a bit more about that business, and how did it get its start?
Yeah, actually, it got started. Like I said, I was, you know, about maybe a year or two prior to that, you know, I started taking an interest of DJing because my dad, he actually lived out in Brooklyn. He lived right around the corner, actually, from where Jay-Z and them used to live in Marcy. So I used to have to come out there, and my dad used to have to watch me. So he had the equipment at his house, and, you know, he worked third shift at his job. He's a postal worker, and he used to be asleep when I used to come over there. So I used to just get on the turntable. Dad turned on the turntables for me, and he would turn on the turntables. And, you know, one day I had did a mix with Jade, acapella, Don't Walk Away, and Positive K, I Got a Man. And the mix actually popped, woke him up out of his sleep, and he just started practicing with me from there. And then I started carrying his crates at parties and stuff like that. And then what happened was we started dabbling, me and my brother, the same bro I was telling you about, P. Holla, we started kind of dabbling in the street, you know what I'm saying? And my mom's had pleaded with my pops to leave the equipment with me, you know, so I could really take DJing seriously. And that's how our partner started, man. We, you know, we just started doing parties together, and we've been doing it ever since, man. You know what I mean? We became business partners, and, you know, that's my partner in crime to this day. Shout out to Pops.
So I have to ask you, after all these years, like, what is Partners Entertainment doing today? Like, is it still doing the same thing it originally did back in '92, or are you guys doing something different since then?
Yeah. Actually, we've expanded. We still doing parties. We still do parties for hire. We throw our own parties. My dad actually, he was doing a party out in Brooklyn because he specializes in house music. Shout out to United Spirits. They actually about to do their last party. This year they had a 10-year run. We threw a lot of parties in New York City, and now what we're doing now is my pops is a sound man now. So what he does is he rents the equipment out. We got a whole bunch of equipment, and he rents the equipment out to different venues and stuff like that. And he's doing sound now. So we've expanded into sound, and we do mixes on Mixcloud, and you could check Pops out. I'm mostly on the production side now. He handles most of the DJing, but it's still Partners all day.
And also, 1 year later in 1993, you began producing hits for numerous artists. I'm gonna have to ask you, what made you decide to initially start producing music, and what are some of the artists that you actually had the privilege of producing for?
Absolutely, man. Basically, what started getting me into producing was just watching my producer. He used to make these crazy beats, and I was always into the equipment. So the next year after I was honing the rapping skills, I asked him. I was like, one day we was in the studio, and I said, yo, man, I want to learn how to work the boards. And he was open arms to me, taught me everything I know, got me started. And I started making beats for people in my school. 93 was about 10th grade for me. So I started with Mahogany Brown. She's a dope. Actually, she's into film right now, doing a lot of big things in film. Just started producing for my group, and then along the lines, I started producing for guys such as my brother Ruck, Javon Bishop. Started working with Midi Mafia a little bit. They produced 21 Questions for 50, and just an assortment of local artists that was prominent at the time. And then it led me to working with AG from Showbiz and AG, Corey Guns, Dave East, and assortment of people. So I've gotten them, in the 27-year period, man. I've been blessed to work with a lot of local artists and a lot of prominent artists as well.
And also in 2005, you actually started your own. In 2005, your company Novocain Enterprises was born. Can you tell us a bit more about that company and how did it come to be?
Absolutely. Novocain came to be because it actually, I originally formulated Novocain in '98. Where the name came from is I used to be on AOL, and I used to create screen names that was based off of my middle name, which is Khalid. And one of the names that I created just happened to be Novocain. Thought it was a cool name, and I just decided to name it as my label. So it started out as I had a whole bunch of artists. Thought I was puffy at the time. Didn't know anything about the business. Just started kind of managing artists, and then it started where I was working with a lot of different local artists at the time. Just kind of working on their sound and just honing my skills as a producer. And in 2005, I decided to make it a company and make it an official company where we, did distribution. Artist distribution, was helping them managing artists and producing for artists and stuff like that. And then, it just started getting into film, did video. We started in, doing radio and stuff like that. So that's pretty much where it started in '05. Novocain was just a company that I started because I didn't want to sign to anybody, and I wanted to keep all the rights to my music and stuff like that. So I needed I listened to Luda, and Luda used to say, make sure that you could write your own checks and make sure you could cash your own checks in your company name. So that was big for me at the time. I was the first dude in my hood to have an official company like that, man. So it was just all about grooming myself as an artist and having different artists with me come up as well, man. So that's where Novocain started, and we still going on to this day, man. One of the longest independent, record labels in the game right now.
And you also said that when you mentioned that you did distribution and producing for artists on Novocain Enterprise. I have to ask you, Why? What artists did you actually distribute for and produce for, if you don't mind me asking?
Nah, absolutely. We worked, like I said, I was signed to the label. You know, I got my brother P. Holler, got my brother Black Daddy, Ruck. I was working with my brother Bugs at the time, you know, Streets. Right now, we currently working with an artist in partnership. My brother Flowboy Deuce, he's been on Hot 97 out here. He's done a lot of different things nationwide, and right now we just released his single "Forgot," and we getting ready to gear up for his album, man. So yeah, we you know, we do distribution for our artists, man. We helping our artists out here get paid independently, man, and you know that's what Novocain is all about, man. Just making sure that the artists are taken care of.
And also in 2011, you released your debut street album on Novocain Records called I Am Legend. I have to ask you, what's the inspiration behind that record? And also, is it still available for the public to stream or buy?
Absolutely. It's definitely, you know, all they got to do is go to chuckplatinum.bandcamp.com, and you'll see I Am Legend up there. It's a 3-series album series. Basically, how that album worked is I was out of the rap game for a little bit, got into radio for a few years, and I was signed with a label. Did the label thing in California in about '08. Took a break, came back to New York, just started rebuilding my name, trying to figure it out. And being in the studio and getting into more engineering, I had decided to get back into the game. I was working with a lot of different artists at the time doing radio. And, you know, I would just invite them in the studio sessions, started recording some music. And that's how I Am Legend came about. And I Am Legend just basically was, you know, just kind of stamping myself as a self-proclaimed legend. At that time, I had been in the game for a little while, been in the game about 20 years when I released that project. So it was just like a resurgence of me as an artist and as a rapper, just giving myself a platform to be able to showcase my talent as a rapper and a producer. So, yeah, that's where I Am Legend came out. You can check that out, chuckplatinum.bandcamp.com. I Am Legend, I produced that one. Then there's I Am Legend 2, and then there's also I Am Legend 3 as well on SoundCloud.
And also, for the listeners that might not know this, you are also a well-known radio personality. Can you tell us a bit more about that, and what made you decide to get into radio?
Actually, yep, no doubt. Yeah, I did radio. I started doing radio in 2008. When I came back from California, I was just looking for something to get into. Shout out to my brother DJ Kid New. He had a radio show up on the MatrixStudios.com. You know, he was a protege of Kid Capri, and a very, very good friend of mine. And he encouraged me and my partner Swerve, like, you know, y'all should do a radio show. And, you know, Swerve came to me. He said, you know, what you think about doing a radio show called Crazy Mod Squad Radio, which is Crazy Mod Squad is a DJ coalition, me, my man Swerve, Joe Cool, and a bunch of other DJs. And we just decided to do a show that was music-oriented, showcasing independent talent, and we just wanted to do something great, man. So what we did was we didn't have a lot of independent artists on there. We kind of got the start off. Our first guest was Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Then we interviewed DJ Webstar. We interviewed Dragon. We interviewed Ice-T, AG from Showbiz and AG. Fight from a Tribe Called Quest. Just so many different artists in the game, man. Radio really was what put me on into the game, and got my real start. You know, so many artists, Fred the Godson, P. It was just so many artists that had came through our doors. Rock Wilder, Rock from Boot Camp Click, Mike Geronimo, so many different artists, Styles P we interviewed. So we was just blessed in that sense that we was able to pull our connections together from different resources and do that radio, man. And we did it for 10 years. Shout out to Crazy Mod Squad Radio, man. We actually about to launch a new radio station called Record Breakers Radio, where we're going to start breaking independent artists and playing independent music, man. So look out for Record Breakers Radio coming soon.
That's crazy, man. When you actually mentioned Tretch from Naughty by Nature, man, that's crazy to have that as your very first guest, man. I have to ask you, what was he like as a person, man? Like just being able to sit in front of the legendary Tretch and actually be able to chop it up with the man.
Yeah, Tretch, actually his family, you know what I'm saying? Tretch is my old manager, his brother-in-law, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Tretch was, he, you know, when it came to guests, you know, he came to us and he was like, yo, you know, I could get Tretch on the show. And when he came on the show, you know, he was just real cool, real calm, real collect, you know what I'm saying? He answered every question. He was just so dope, you know, and he actually gave us a freestyle. You know what I'm saying? He freestyled for us, and that was just amazing being able to sit there with the legend. You know, we also got to interview Warren G at the time when they did the Tupac hologram and stuff like that, man. So yeah, man, we just been blessed to work with legends, man. You know, Smith and Wesson, you know, different prominent figures like that, man. So it was just a blessing, man. I was just happy to be there. Real talk.
Man, that's amazing, man. I really do hope one day I can get to that level, man. You know, like having Tretch, you know, Smith and Wesson, Warren G. That is such an amazing opportunity, man, especially for anybody, man. So I gotta say, dude, I really do hope that your new radio station actually is just as successful as that, man. Because those are some big multi-platinum names.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely appreciate that, man. And you know, that's what we're doing it for, man. Just the independence, and you know, the good thing is we do have those connections still with those prominent figures, and they are independent, so they included in that. So you'll definitely see more interviews, you know, more dope interviews with artists like that, and we just gonna keep it moving. And you will, man. You gonna definitely get those opportunities, man. Those brothers right there are reachable, and all you got to do is reach out. And trust me, they love to, you know, share the history and stuff like that, man. OG Warren G was real dope, man. He sat there for like an hour and 20 minutes and just chopped it up with us, you know, and just talk. And I like I said, man, I just be in the moment, man. I was just in the moment as a hip hop fan, man. So it was definitely a blessing to be able to interview those people.
And also, you are a part of the multi-level marketing company called Organo Gold. I have to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about that company and what is it exactly about?
Yeah, Organo Gold. Actually, I don't really work with them as much anymore. I was with them for 10 years. Organo Gold was a very, very, very dope company. Got a lot of lessons. Shout out to my brother Ho and Bugs, which he has his own network marketing company now. And again, I was introduced to Organo Gold by an old manager of mine. Thought that would be a model of business that I would be interested in, which he was right. We definitely sold a lot of coffee. It was a healthy coffee company, which it still is. It's $1 billion company right now. They got over 1 million distributors. Dope company. Shout out to Shane Moran. Actually, Shane Moran is actually from the British Columbia, a very prominent figure out there. Followed his tutelage and his journey, and was able to be successful in my own right. So shout out to Organo Gold, man, my first network marketing company. Made a lot of money with them, made a lot of connections, and it was just a dope experience to be able to do a different business like that, man. So I'm definitely all for network marketing. Network marketing is a great way to, you know, meet people and meet different people in different genres and different businesses, man. So definitely something I was definitely proud of being a part of.
And also on July 15th of last year, you dropped your most recent album. I have to ask you, what is the inspiration behind that album, and where can our listeners actually get themselves a copy?
Absolutely. Yeah, that album is called Hop Evangelist. Released it last July. Dope album. It was a concept album of mine. I started working on back in 2016. Definitely wanted to do a love letter to hip hop, and you know, give the listeners that feel back in the 90s when hip hop was really prominent and when we was really getting into it real heavy. That's my era right there. So I wanted to do an album, a love letter to hip hop, just kind of giving an old feel with new twist to it with some bars and some dope beats. So yeah, you could get that album definitely everywhere. Apple, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. It's all over the place, man. Real Hip Hop is the next single. We got the single out there. We got actually 2 singles out there, Drifting and Any Way You Want. Singles did very well. Album did very well, man. So look forward to some dope visuals from that album as well, man. We about to make some movies out of that.
And I also have to ask you, man, what is next for Chuck Platinum, man? Do you have any other projects, anything else you want to promote while we still have you here on the air?
Absolutely, man. Definitely. Right now we working on a new album. It's called Timing Is Everything. The album come out 2021. We currently got the project, the EP. Like I told y'all before, you could go on chuckplatinum.bandcamp.com. Got an EP out right now called Love Tape 2. It's a dope body of work, man. Dedicated to all the lovers out there. You could get Love Tape 1 also on Bandcamp as well, man. And, if you want to, if you like what you hear, you can donate. Name your price, you know what I'm saying? Donate 5 cents, 10 cents, $1, $10, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody who's donated to the album and downloaded that album, man. And we just working right now. I'm working with a whole bunch of artists, producing a bunch of different artists. Shout out to my brother Skrilla, Gambino, rest in peace to my brother Jason Bourne. We just did my girl Vegas Black's album. We got my girl Pretty Girl First is coming out. I got about 20 good tracks that's coming out with some dope independent artists right now. So you're gonna be hearing my name a lot. Chuck Platinum, man. You know the name, you know the face. You know what I mean?
So Chuck, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the show. Just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to, and also your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you if they're not already doing so.
Absolutely, man. First and foremost, I just like to give a shout-out to the Most High. I'd like to give a shout-out to my wife, Monica. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to my wife for supporting me all these years. Just want to give a shout-out to my mom, my dad, my brother P. Holla, a.k.a. Prince Newkirk. Give a shout-out to my second moms. Give a shout-out to my sister. Just my whole family, man. My whole family and everybody that supports Chuck Platinum. And you can find me all over social media, man. You can Google me, Chuck Platinum. My music will pop right up. Or you can @ me on IG, Chuck Platinum. You can get me Chuck Platinum everywhere, man. It's the Beat franchise. And if you need them beats, you can holler at me, www.thebeatfranchise.com. Man, we got leases. We got exclusive rights for beats. So if you want to work with me, hit me up, www.thebeatfranchise.com. And, man, we got that work for you, baby. You already know Chuck Platinum in the building. I appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, I do want to say thank you so much, Chuck Platinum, for coming up on Outlaw Radio Live, man. It was an absolute honor and most definitely a privilege, man. You have yourself a wonderful week, and I hope down the road we can chop it up again.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you very much, DJ Outlaw, the whole Outlaw Radio Live crew, man. Big shout out to Canada, man. Y'all be safe out there with this coronavirus going on, man.
Hey, man, we just got news that our country's shut down, so it looks like I'm going to be having a lot more extra time to be putting in with Outlaw Radio Live, so expect some big things coming.
I know that's right, man. I know that's right. Use the time wisely.
Well, it's definitely, man. You have yourself a wonderful week, man. And you stay safe as well, man. Many blessings to you.
You too, family. Thank you for the opportunity, man.
You're most certainly welcome, brother.